Karen lived in a quiet neighborhood where everyone took pride in their homes. However, one thing that bothered her more than anything else was her neighbor's reclaimed wood fence. To Karen, it looked like a jumble of old, mismatched pieces of wood, giving off an unprofessional vibe. She often complained to her friends that it resembled scrap wood rather than something beautiful or appealing. "It's just a bunch of thrown-together planks," she would exclaim, shaking her head in disbelief. Karen believed that fences should be neat and polished, not an eyesore that brought down the charm of the community. Her frustration was palpable whenever she glanced over at that fence. It felt like a stain on her otherwise perfect street. One sunny afternoon, as she sipped her coffee on the porch, Karen noticed her neighbor gathering local kids and artists around the fence. Confused, she squinted to see what they were planning. Her heart sank as she realized they were about to turn her neighbor's scrap-looking fence into a canvas for murals. To her dismay, Karen could already picture the bright colors and whimsical designs clashing with the serene look she preferred. As she watched the kids paint flowers and animals, she couldn't help but feel annoyed. "This is going to ruin everything," she muttered under her breath, unaware that this artistic venture would soon spark a whole new conversation in the neighborhood. While Karen sulked over her coffee, her neighbor, Mr. Thompson, stood proudly in front of his reclaimed wood fence. He was a cheerful man with an artistic spirit, always looking for ways to bring the community together. Unlike Karen, he saw beauty where others might see flaws. To him, the fence was not an eyesore but a blank canvas waiting for creativity. Mr. Thompson had a vision. He wanted to turn the old fence into something magical that everyone could enjoy. Inspired by the vibrant energy of local artists and children, he decided to invite them for a mural project. "Let's paint something beautiful," he announced one sunny Saturday morning, gathering a group of eager kids from the neighborhood. Excitement filled the air as each child grabbed a paintbrush, ready to express themselves. "Imagine flowers blooming and animals frolicking on this fence," Mr. Thompson encouraged them. The idea sparked enthusiasm. They began sketching designs while chatting about what colors they would use. Parents nearby smiled, thrilled to see their children engaging in art and contributing to the community. As the days passed, more local artists joined in, bringing their unique styles and ideas. They painted whimsical animals that danced across the wood and inspirational quotes that spread positivity. Each stroke of paint added life and color to what had once been a source of disappointment for Karen, transforming it into a joyful masterpiece that would soon capture the attention of the entire neighborhood. The day finally arrived for the first mural to take shape on Mr. Thompson's fence, and the excitement was palpable. As the sun shone brightly overhead, children gathered around, their faces lit up with anticipation. Armed with paintbrushes and buckets of vibrant colors, they began to transform the weathered wood into a canvas of imagination. One of the kids, a girl named Mia, started by painting a bright yellow sunflower that seemed to reach for the sky. Nearby, her friend Jake carefully added a playful blue bunny, its ears flopping as if it were ready to hop right off the fence. The laughter and chatter of the children filled the air, and with each stroke of paint, a sense of joy blossomed among them. As the mural grew, local artists joined in to lend their skills. One talented artist painted an elegant peacock that shimmered with hues of green and gold, while another crafted swirling patterns around inspiring quotes like, "Believe in yourself," and "Create your own sunshine." These words resonated deeply within the community, reminding everyone of the beauty in creativity and hope. Onlookers began to stop by, admiring the artwork taking shape. They cheered on the young artists as colorful flowers danced alongside whimsical animals, turning what was once an ordinary fence into a vibrant display that drew smiles from everyone who passed by. Even Karen couldn't help but glance over occasionally, feeling a mix of frustration and curiosity about this unexpected change in her neighborhood. As days passed and the mural continued to grow, Karen's frustration deepened. She watched from her porch, heart racing each time a child giggled as they splattered paint or admired the latest addition to the colorful display. The cheerful atmosphere around Mr. Thompson's fence contrasted sharply with her own feelings of annoyance. "This is not what our neighborhood needs," she muttered to herself, feeling increasingly out of place. Determined to voice her discontent, Karen began to talk to her friends about the situation. "It's just a mess," she insisted during one gathering, gesturing animatedly toward the fence. Her friends listened patiently, but their responses revealed a divide. Some praised the creativity while others shared her concerns about aesthetics. Karen felt more isolated than ever as she realized that not everyone agreed with her. Feeling compelled to take action, she wrote a post on social media expressing her views. "Why do we need a circus on a fence?" she typed, hoping for support from fellow neighbors who shared her feelings about maintaining order in their community. However, Karen quickly found herself facing unexpected backlash as people labeled her anti-art for opposing the vibrant new expression in their neighborhood. As the comments rolled in, mocking her stance and showcasing enthusiasm for the mural project, a knot tightened in her stomach. Instead of finding allies, Karen felt trapped in an unyielding wave of color and creativity that challenged her perspective on beauty and community. Despite Karen's growing frustration, the local community embraced the vibrant murals on Mr. Thompson's fence with open arms. Families flocked to the site, turning it into a lively gathering spot where laughter and conversation filled the air. Children pointed at their favorite designs, while parents snapped photos to capture the joyous moments. The cheerful colors and uplifting messages resonated deeply, creating a sense of unity among neighbors who had once barely exchanged greetings. Local art enthusiasts began to organize events around the mural, inviting even more artists to contribute their talents. Weekend gatherings featured live music and food trucks, transforming the area into a mini-festival celebrating creativity and community spirit. People of all ages came together, sharing stories about their connections to the art and what it meant to them. As visitors admired the murals depicting flowers, animals, and inspirational quotes, they felt a renewed appreciation for their neighborhood. Meanwhile, local businesses took notice of the increased foot traffic and began sponsoring events in conjunction with the mural project. This collaboration fostered an even stronger sense of belonging within the community. It wasn't long before local magazines picked up on this artistic transformation, featuring articles that highlighted not only the murals but also how they brought joy and unity to everyone involved. While Karen continued to feel out of step with her neighbors' enthusiasm, she couldn't ignore the overwhelming support for Mr. Thompson's vision. The fence had become more than just wood, it was now a symbol of community pride and creativity that thrived in unexpected ways. As the mural project gained momentum, its popularity spread like wildfire throughout the neighborhood. Word of the artistic transformation reached beyond the local streets, piquing the interest of nearby communities and even local media. Families and friends shared photos of the vibrant artwork on social media, praising the creativity displayed on Mr. Thompson's once mundane fence. The atmosphere was electric, filled with a sense of pride that united everyone involved. Soon after, a local magazine caught wind of the project and decided to feature it in their upcoming issue. A reporter visited the site, capturing images of children painting, families enjoying the festivities, and the colorful murals that had quickly become landmarks in the area. In her article, she highlighted how this art initiative not only beautified a previously ignored space but also fostered collaboration among residents, blending the talents of young artists with seasoned professionals. When the magazine was published, it brought an influx of visitors to the neighborhood eager to see the murals in person. Local businesses thrived as more people stopped by to grab coffee or shop at nearby stores while admiring the artwork. This newfound attention provided a boost to community spirit and further encouraged people to participate in future art projects. Meanwhile, Karen sat stewing at home, unable to ignore how rapidly things were changing. While she tried to voice her concerns about the murals, it became increasingly clear that the positive response from the community was far stronger than her objections. The fence was no longer just wood, it had transformed into a celebrated symbol of creativity and unity that everyone embraced, except for her. Feeling overwhelmed by the attention Mr. Thompson's mural project was receiving, Karen decided it was time to take a stand. She couldn't shake the feeling that the vibrant artwork was overshadowing the careful charm she believed her neighborhood should embody. With each passing day, more and more visitors flocked to admire the fence, and Karen's anxiety grew as she worried about how it reflected on her community. Determined to voice her concerns, she organized a small protest. Armed with signs that read, "Keep our neighborhood neat," and "Art should have boundaries," she stood at the edge of the sidewalk where people gathered to admire the murals. However, as she held her sign high, she quickly realized that few people seemed to share her sentiments. Instead of stopping to listen, most just smiled or continued to take pictures of the colorful artwork. When her protest garnered only confused looks and light laughter, Karen turned to social media once again, hoping for some support. Unfortunately, what she received instead was a barrage of comments mocking her efforts. People dubbed her the Neatnik and took jabs at her for being against creativity. This response stung deeply. It felt like a personal attack rather than a disagreement. Overwhelmed by feelings of defeat and isolation, Karen found herself retreating further into her home. While she wanted to maintain her vision for the neighborhood's aesthetic, it seemed that everyone else had embraced this new wave of creativity. The mural project thrived as a celebration of community spirit, while Karen struggled to reconcile her views with the reality before her. In a moment of frustration, Karen sat down to write a social media post about the murals that had taken over her neighborhood. She felt compelled to express her grievances, hoping to find someone who might share her concerns. "This is not art, it's just chaos on a fence," she typed, feeling a mix of anger and disappointment. She aimed to rally support from neighbors who also valued the polished look of their community. However, when she hit post, she had no idea how quickly her words would backfire. Instead of receiving understanding or solidarity, her feed exploded with comments mocking her stance. "The Neatnik strikes again," one commenter quipped, while another wrote, "Art is supposed to be fun, lighten up." Each notification felt like a jab at her beliefs, as more people joined in, laughing at her expense. Karen watched helplessly as her post spiraled out of control. Instead of fostering a discussion about aesthetics versus creativity, it turned into a public spectacle where she was labeled anti-art. As people shared their love for the murals and the community spirit they inspired, Karen felt more alone than ever. What she had hoped would be a voice for reason instead became a catalyst for ridicule. Feeling defeated and misunderstood, she retreated deeper into her thoughts. The vibrant images that adorned the fence now represented not only a transformation of space but also a stark contrast to her own values, a reminder that in this battle of opinions, the tide was undeniably against her. As the murals flourished, Karen felt the community dynamics shift dramatically around her. What had once been a tightly knit neighborhood, where everyone shared similar values and aesthetics, now seemed like a vibrant carnival of colors and creativity that she could not embrace. Families and friends gathered regularly at Mr. Thompson's fence, laughing and celebrating the lively art, while Karen remained on the outskirts, watching with a heavy heart. Every weekend, more events sprouted around the murals, attracting people from different areas who brought food, music, and joy. Karen often saw children joyfully painting alongside artists, their faces smeared with colorful paint as they embraced the chance to express themselves. Yet for her, each smile and shared moment felt like a reminder of her isolation and the growing divide between her views and those of her neighbors. The more she clung to her opinions about the art being unprofessional or scrap-looking, the more disconnected she felt from those celebrating it. Her frustration bubbled beneath the surface as conversations shifted to praise for the murals. Topics of neatness and order vanished from discussions at neighborhood gatherings. Karen's once familiar surroundings now seemed foreign to her, a place where creativity thrived in stark contrast to her desire for uniformity. She began to wonder if she would ever find a way to bridge this gap, or if she was destined to remain an outsider in a community that has fully embraced this new identity. This internal struggle weighed heavily on her, making every trip outside feel like a confrontation with the ever-changing world around her. As time passed, the murals continued to thrive, and the neighborhood evolved into a tapestry of creativity and connection. Although Karen struggled with her feelings of isolation, the vibrant artwork around her told a story that resonated with many. It became clear that art had the power to change perceptions, weaving together the lives of those who embraced it, regardless of their initial opinions. For many in the community, the murals were not just paintings on a fence, they symbolized hope, unity, and an invitation to celebrate diversity. Children giggled as they added their own touches to the artwork, and neighbors who had once barely exchanged words found common ground over their shared appreciation for creativity. The fence transformed from an eyesore in Karen's eyes to a beacon of joy for everyone else. As she reflected on the changes in her neighborhood, Karen began to realize that her perspective was not the only one that mattered. Perhaps there was beauty in chaos and creativity that she had overlooked. While she still preferred order and neatness, she started to see how embracing new ideas could enrich her life and those around her. In a world where individuality often shines brightest through art, Karen learned that it could foster connections that bring people together in unexpected ways. This journey reminded her, and the readers, of the importance of being open-minded about changes in our surroundings. After all, every neighborhood has room for creativity, and perhaps even a little chaos can lead to a stronger community filled with laughter, inspiration, and shared experiences.